Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hungry Brothers. I just do want to mention that this episode of Hungry Brothers is brought to you by oxygen. It's what's in the air. Of course, I am your host, Greg, otherwise known as Pork Chop.
And I am Noe, or otherwise known as Burger Man, here to bring you your extra dose of internet cancer to throw you over the edge.
And of course... On Hungry Brothers, it's not the focus of the podcast, but we do want to bring to you the snack of the week, Noe?
Yeah, our snack of the week this week is what every Mexican person loves and hates at the same time. The saltiest of snacks, chicharrones. Or, for you people who can't speak Spanish or understand what that is, pork rinds. They're crunchy, they're salty, and they be delicious. Tasty.
That will be particularly enjoyable by our ASMR-focused listeners. Noe, I want to jump straight into movie news this week.
All right, let's do it.
I have got a huge list of stuff.
I hope so.
First off, we mentioned the Monster Hunter movie last week, and I want to bring you a little bit of an update on that. The Monster Hunter... Yes.
Wonderful. That's good news.
The Monster Hunter film is brought to you by the same people that have crafted the equally detestable Resident Evil movies.
Huh.
And it will star the very same lead actress. I don't care about her name, but it's that same lady.
That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, just quick update on that.
All right, sick.
For those who are fans of the Resident Evil series, that's something to be excited about. But for those who have sense of video game movies, we'll wait for Redbox on that one. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Netflix. You're on Netflix now?
Of course, I'm on Netflix.
Yeah. So Netflix gets new editions multiple times a month.
Of course.
And the next big one is May 29th. I believe, is that next Monday?
That is next Monday, actually.
And we get Coco on Netflix.
Are you talking about Coco, the award-winning Disney film
Oscar-winning
Disney
Pixar's
film?
Coco?
Pixar's Coco,
Yes.
that for the first time the Mexican people found somebody that they could love and appreciate in a Disney movie? Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
That's coming to Netflix?
So it's coming to Netflix. It's part of Disney's deal up until, I think, 2019.
And then they're making their own streaming service.
And then they make their own streaming service. So Coco comes on May 29th. I'll definitely sit down and watch that one again. I loved it.
I own it.
So, Noe, on that note, what is your favorite Pixar movie?
Oh, shoot. You know what? I'm gonna reach back and I'm gonna say A Bug's Life.
Okay.
People hate it, but the ladybug, Francis, is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm still not sure if it's a guy or a girl, but it makes me laugh every single time just because of the voice. And he's like, it's like New York-esque, wanting to fight everyone, and he reminds me a little bit of myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Except, not ladybug, or maybe a girl. Yeah. Okay,
so we are... I'm going to take them away from you.
No, don't take them. I love them.
Okay, so we are going to talk about Deadpool 2.
Wonderful.
Spoiler
alert.
Wait. Before we get into spoilers, just give one sentence non-spoiler review.
All right. Peter's the character you guys are all going to be looking at. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Yeah.
My sentence will be loads of fun, comma, tops the original in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can agree with that sentiment.
Okay, but before we get into a full spoiler review, I want to talk to you about one other film that'll be coming in late 2018.
Oh, no.
This film is called Mowgli. Have you heard about this one yet?
Is this a Disney remake?
It is not a Disney remake.
So this is not a Disney movie?
So this is not a sequel to 2016's Jungle Book.
Okay.
This is Warner Brothers. A Warner Brothers production.
Fascinating.
And I gotta say that I think this is a terrible idea. Because the first thing that the trailer says, I watched the trailer, we can watch it after.
Sure.
The first thing that it says is, it's saying that it's a darker version of the Jungle Book story.
How do you make that darker?
You take the actual source material, I guess.
Ah.
But so
here's a
I
question.
thought
Mowgli was not raised he was raised in a village, right?
I think so. I think he was raised by a village, but then got lost or something.
All right. So the question is, if you're making it darker and you're going with the original source material, when he comes back to the village, if he's gone for a long enough time, his language comprehension is just gone.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So do you think he's going to come back speaking like monkey?
I don't think so.
Because I think that would be great.
It'd be great comedy, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Noe, I want to tell you that I think this is a terrible idea. However, there are multiple redeeming factors concerning the director and the cast.
All right, explain to me.
So, Jungle Book is going to involve a lot of motion capture characters. When you think motion capture, what actor do you think of?
He's the guy that plays Smeagol.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
Andy, that's his name.
He's the director.
What?
Yeah, he's directing this, so that makes me a little excited. Not gonna lie.
That's actually kind of cool.
And further, you have a star-studded cast. So Bagheera, what is he? A jaguar?
Yeah.
He's played by Christian Bale.
Huh.
And Christian Bale's using his real...
I'm the Batman.
He's using his real British voice for this one, so it's kind of fun.
He's British?
He is British.
What?
Yeah, no, nobody ever knows that because whenever he was doing the Batman films, he did all of his interviews in his American accent.
Wow, that's fascinating. Oh, by the way, that royal wedding, spectacular. America's almost taking over.
Boom.
I'm sorry, the rest of you.
Phase 2.
I'm sorry for the rest of you.
Okay. Next is Ka, the snake.
Yes.
Being played by Cate Blanchett.
Oh, she's pretty.
Who is just fantastic in everything that she's in.
Absolutely. That's interesting that they're making Ka a female.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just what Jungle Book did with
that's right.
Scarlett Johansson.
That's right. I forgot
so this is now this is now the same snake being played by two different women of the Marvel Universe.
Fascinating.
Okay. Andy Serkis himself will be playing Baloo, which is great. I love Andy Serkis. Actually, on note of Andy Serkis, I was really happy to see him getting some non-motion capture roles.
All right.
Like he played Claw in Marvel, but also he's a fantastic motion capture worker. So yeah, keep letting him do that too.
I loved his work in Planet of the Apes. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, so Noe, I saved this one.
All right.
But Shere Khan, the tiger, is being played by Babadook Cobblesnatch himself.
What a name! Oh God, that's awesome.
So now, 3 different people from Marvel are in this movie. You've got Ulysses Claw, Hela, the Goddess of Death, and Doctor Strange all in this movie together, and then one random Batman.
Wow.
So
that's pretty cool.
I have to say I don't agree with this movie having been made. It's already finished. It comes out. It comes out in October.
That's cool.
But with a cast like that and Andy Serkis in the director's chair, it's hard not to be excited for it.
Yeah.
Okay, Noe.
Yes.
Let's talk about Deadpool.
Oh,
this is your official spoiler warning. We're gonna spoil the entire film. So if you haven't seen it, I will leave a time card that you can skip to, and we'll be moving on to the next segment at that point. Noe, what were your hopes for Deadpool?
Well, I know that Deadpool is a series that, not really a series, but a movie that is wild with hilarity and acted as a redemption for some of the past mistakes that were made with that character.
Do we want to talk about that mid-credit scene yet?
Yeah, let's absolutely talk about that.
So Cable is a time-traveling character, and Deadpool steals his time-traveling device to fix the past of the X-Men universe. So he goes back in time, and he kills a previous version of himself as Deadpool.
Now, keep in mind, this is Ryan Reynolds doing this. This is not like, this is not Deadpool per se even though Marvel does an incredible job at making the actor into the character that they're playing. But we see old Deadpool from what was that Wolverine movie?
X-Men Origins.
X-Men Origins. Wolverine. We see him, and it's weird because all of a sudden my mind starts thinking, so you're telling me Deadpool exists somewhere in our world now, and I haven't heard about it? But anyways, enough with the fourth wall breaking, which is what we expected from Deadpool. It delivered.
But in especially in that mid-credit scene, he takes it even further to the point where he goes back in time to, let's say, 2010, and he shoots Ryan Reynolds as he is about to read the script for Green Lantern, which is one of the worst comic book movies to have ever been put to film.
It was hilarious.
Hilariously bad.
Absolutely.
So, Deadpool just... it didn't disappoint. I'll say that, right?
Oh, absolutely not. I loved that movie. Filled with laughs. Also, Domino is awesome.
Oh, what a fun character.
Oh, yeah. She's fun. The power of luck. I mean, might be a power, might not be a power, but holy crap, she was powerful. And I love her hair. Holy crap. Right? She had like this big afro kind of thing going for her, and I was like, that's attractive. I can go for it.
So Noe, what did you think about the subversion of expectations from what the trailers gave us?
All right, well, I'll tell you what. We expected this superhero squad to be super.
We expected a movie about X-Force.
Absolutely. We expected a movie about X-Force, and we didn't necessarily get that.
Not the same X-Force that was advertised, at least.
Yeah, so, at the very least.
All of these characters who show up are glorified cameos. Mm-hmm. They all die 10 minutes after they're introduced.
Yeah.
But I thought that worked to the advantage of Deadpool.
Oh, absolutely.
The film made it work. So, Noe, I don't know if you knew this, but Vanisher, who was invisible up until the point where he runs into the power line and dies.
Yes.
Vanisher is played by Brad Pitt.
I saw that.
Yeah, so that was Brad Pitt. The other big cameo was the scene where it kind of looks straight out of a Terminator movie where Cable first shows up and takes the truck from those hillbillies.
That's right.
The one hillbilly is played by Alan Tudyk.
Okay.
Do you know who Alan Tudyk is?
No, I don't.
He's been in a lot of different stuff. He's probably most recognizable for having played Wash in Firefly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also done a lot of voice acting. So one of my favorite voice acting roles he does is he played Hey the chicken in Moana.
Oh, hey.
He played and
that
also
dumb piece of crap.
The fun little play on words. He played the Duke of Wesselton in Frozen. And he played Duke Weaselton in Zootopia.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's cool.
So, and there was Alan Tudyk, and the other hillbilly was credited as the name of a movie character. I didn't do my research again because I'm bad at my job.
Me too.
But that was Matt Damon, who is now capable of winning the award that doesn't exist of just best cameos. He shows up previously as the actor that played Loki in Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah. And also the Russo brothers have confirmed that character did die. Yeah, so he's dead.
Oh no.
So I thought the standout role in the movie for me, other than Ryan Reynolds himself,
and
obviously,
Peter, obviously.
And Peter, yes,
come on,
Sugar Bear.
Yes, Sugar Bear, our boy.
I absolutely adored Josh Brolin as Cable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He was fantastic. I don't care what people complained about with his height and such. And, you know, Deadpool pokes fun at it himself. He says, oh, you're only 5'11". Because Cable's 6'8" in the comics, no?
Yeah.
He's a very large and imposing man. But Josh Brolin was able to be large and imposing while
I was just gonna say
shorter than most of the cast.
Oh, absolutely. I also think... I know he played Thanos.
He does play Thanos.
That caused a little bit of tension for some reason with a lot of fan base, but I thought it was super cool because they don't even they don't seem like the same character at all.
Yeah, and it works. No, they're very different characters, and I know you still haven't seen Infinity War.
I have not. I need to be connected to T'Challa.
So I won't get into it.
You can if you want to.
No, I don't want to spoil the movie for you.
All right,
but
you're a good man.
The most that I'll say is that Infinity War very much focuses on the character Thanos.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see another side of Josh Brolin's acting, because now all that I've seen him in is Infinity War, Deadpool, and he's also from The Goonies.
Yeah.
Where he plays the older brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so really funny actor, and he works so well as the straight man in Deadpool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm definitely going to go back to the movies to see this one again. I have other people that want to see it.
I'm actually planning on doing the same thing. I almost did it last night, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to enjoy the movie all over again, and I think that certain things will stick out to me more. It's always with these comic book movies that they have tons of references that you can be looking for, you know?
Absolutely.
So overall, I will say that Deadpool, it maybe doesn't top Infinity War for me, but it's definitely been one of the more enjoyable films of the year.
All I know is that every time I've watched one of those two movies, I laugh. I laugh a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the parts that stood out most to me was the death scene.
Whose death scene?
Deadpool.
Deadpool's death scene, yes.
Deadpool does die. He says so in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the way you think. It takes him about 30 minutes. Probably not as much. I'm probably overcompensating for the actual time there, but he does die, and it is the funniest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
So, Noe, do you know the YouTube channel Wisecrack?
I do.
Yeah, so they released a video recently. I think it was them. Again, I could be wrong. But they released a video recently talking about Deadpool 2, and they came to the conclusion that Deadpool 2 is a 2-hour-long joke poking fun at Logan.
Huh.
Because if you notice, it carries a lot of the same beats.
Yes, it does.
The story revolves around protecting a child and dying to protect that child. It's a family story, which at its core, Logan was as well. And so I thought that was a really interesting way to look at it. That and Deadpool says at the very beginning of the film, he says Logan died in his movie and he stole my R rating, so I'm gonna die too. We need to top Logan.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That theory.
Deadpool 2 is on its way to becoming the #1 R-rated movie of all time.
Wow!
In a box office, I think it will head there. And of course, they mention that as well. Deadpool says, I get mentioned in the same sentence as Jesus, because Passion of the Christ is that #1 R-rated movie. So Deadpool's on its way to beating those box office numbers, and I think it deserves it by all means.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clearly, it was a film put together with a lot of care.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. My less useful view on movies as a casual movie consumer, not somebody with lots of information like my boy here. It was fun. It was a really fun watch, and I think that's what you go to movies for, to have fun.
Oh yeah, and you know, as much of a I probably came across like a real film snob in the last episode, but at a core of a film, I have a rule that says if it entertained me, if I had fun watching it, then it gets a pass in my book, even if I know that objectively it's bad.
Absolutely.
It's like when I watch Star Wars, I don't skip the prequels because they're bad movies.
They're so good,
because
though.
They are really bad, but I'm entertained and I have fun every time I watch them.
Oh, absolutely. And the same with video games, my man.
So yeah, exactly. On the note of video games, as we transition into talking briefly about Star Wars one more time.
And for those of you who have skipped to this point, you are welcome back into this podcast.
Welcome back, skippers.
Do not talk about Deadpool and how,
So we're done talking about spoilers.
Yeah,
no more spoilers. Snape kills Dumbledore.
Darth Vader's Luke's father. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. I had to say it.
No, I was just about to talk about Star Wars.
I'm sorry. I had to say it.
Okay. So before we get into the movie discussion of Star Wars, of course, you probably hear our wonderful clicking. Oh, look at the sound waves.
It's so cool.
You hear our wonderful clicking. Today we are playing 2017's... Was it a 2017 release?
I think it was
2017's Battlefront 2. We're just playing arcade mode. We've made it really easy for myself. Noe, what are you playing as right now?
I'm playing as Chewbacca, or Nameless Wookiee.
Oh, you're definitely Nameless Wookiee. That's not Chewbacca.
Hey, you never know.
And I'm playing as Daisy Ridley.
Oh, God bless her beautiful soul.
God bless her soul. Noe,
yes.
This weekend is Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yes, it is.
I have decided that I'm going to see it.
All right.
However, I'm not going to use my own money to see it. I have some movie tickets stored away from Christmas time that I'll be using to go see Solo.
That is the most non-risky way to watch that movie.
Exactly.
And I love it.
That's what I did with Batman v Superman. And I had a lot of fun with it because my expectations were lowered. The reviews have dropped for Solo. Everyone's released their reviews who saw the pre-screenings.
I do hear that our boy Childish Gambino is a monster.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
And he's super great in that film. So
yeah.
that's always exciting to look forward to.
The general consensus of this film...
Excuse me.
You're excused. The general consensus of the film is Alden Ehrenreich does fine, which I said he would.
Uh-huh.
Childish Landino is great. And the movie is not terrible, but not good either. It's a passable 2-hour-long joyride for Star Wars.
And I think
which
that's
is all
okay.
I'm expecting it to be.
I think that's okay. You know, I don't think a lot of us were expecting it to be the greatest Star Wars movie of all time.
Mm-hmm. No,
you know,
exactly.
That pleasure belongs solely to Episode 2.
It definitely belongs to the actual Episode 2, The Empire Strikes Back.
All right.
The second Star Wars movie.
We'll agree to disagree here.
Okay, that's fine. So, Noe, also in terms of Star Wars, this has never been explicitly confirmed by Lucasfilm, but there's many a rumor that there's an Obi-Wan Kenobi film in the works.
Oh,
and
I would love to see Ewan McGregor running around with the lightsaber, because we all know, I don't know if our listeners heard about this, or if you heard about this, Greg, but while they were filming the prequels, Ewan McGregor, he kept making the lightsaber sounds, and they had to edit that out.
I had to edit it.
I cannot wait. I hope it's him, and I think that would be so funny.
Yes, definitely. And actually, he talks about this in an interview, but the same thing happened in Rocky.
Really?
When they were filming the original Rocky, it was a nightmare for the sound people because they were just having to edit out tons of from Sylvester Stallone while he's punching people.
See, these are real people. If you ever wonder about actors, that's how you know they're real.
Actors are the realest people.
False. The realest people are obviously the Spanish Inquisition.
Wow, I did not expect
that. Huzzah!
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
It's true. Nobody expects me to be Cancer, but I am.
Noe.
Yes.
The DC movies.
Yes.
They're not going so well.
No, they're not.
From Superman's CGI'd upper lip to The Flash, hopefully finally having decided on a director. As Ezra, is his name Ezra Miller?
I believe so.
Ezra Miller met with the new directors of the Flash film, and he said he thinks it's going to be great working with them, which cool.
That's sweet.
There is another there's another DC film in the works. I don't know if you've heard, but they are making a Shazam movie. So Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel in the comics. Recently changed to Shazam. A really cool character. And basically, we got our first official look at Zachary Levi in the costume.
Really?
So go ahead and take a look at this.
He looks sad.
Who looks sad? He doesn't look sad at all. What are you talking about?
Is he drinking like a Slurpee?
He's drinking like a soda, yeah. So
that's what was wrong with his face.
Yeah. Do you know the concept of Shazam?
And that the guy gets struck by lightning and turns into and was a kid, and then he could turn big again. Or am I thinking of another?
No, yeah, he's the one that's a little kid. So he's a little kid in a pseudo Superman body. So what everyone's expecting from this film, and actually what I'm expecting as well, is just fun. You know, this is a little kid as a superhero.
Now, the question is, do you think that that type of hilarity and humor, if you will, that could come from that. Do you think that'll be enough to at least semi-redeem the DC cinematic universe?
You know, I hope so.
I think that they've been lacking something like that, something a little funny, something good, because like I like the dark approach, but it's failed to meet expectations.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, my favorite thing about the DC movies right now is the casting is amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman. Henry Cavill's a fantastic Superman when he puts a smile on his face.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen Justice League, but I've seen a lot of the clips from it. They brightened the actual color scheme of Superman's costume. So he doesn't look so broody anymore, and other than his lip being a little weird, he's a better Superman.
All right, now here's just a theory, all right, about the DC cinematic universe. I think one of the reasons it hasn't done what it's supposed to as a series is because superheroes are supposed to represent hope, right? And our superheroes aren't necessarily doing that for the DC universe. They're kind of a little too dark.
Right. Well, at the same time, you can say that about any superhero movie right now. They're not embodying hope that well.
Yeah.
And Marvel's really good at doing that, yes, but they're at a point in their universe right now where no one is. You know, it is a darker universe. You just came off the back of Civil War. So I would hope that as Marvel continues to get dark, I will tell you this about Infinity War, it's very dark. I hope that there's a bit of an ebb and flow where as Marvel continues on with these darker storylines, DC will lighten up a little bit.
I think that would be smart.
That way, when Marvel lightens up again, DC can go back to the dark, and you'll be ready for it. The two of them can
start working at these this balanced approach to cinematic universes for these comic books that people grew up with. You know?
Yeah, and you know, other than it just not being as good a film, I think that was a big downfall for Dawn of Justice, in that it was coming out at the same time as Civil War.
Yeah.
And so you have this really dark Marvel side, and you also have this really dark DC side. When they shouldn't quite parallel each other. They should be on some different spectrums.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Shazam will bring that about.
I think that's a good hope. Because with a superhero like that, I mean, I think just the idea of getting powers like that, transforming like that is just super funny.
And there hasn't been a whole lot of talk.
Could you imagine like walking out in the middle of a thunderstorm and then getting struck by lightning, becoming powerful and probably like 15, 16 years older?
That'd be amazing.
It'd be weird.
It would be weird, but it'd be really cool.
I mean, for us, it'd be weird. I'd be
old.
I'd be 36.
Gross.
My life would be over at that point. I would have reached the end of my life.
Oh, no. Okay. Noe.
Yes.
There hasn't been a whole lot of actual confirmed talk about this, but a while back they did say that complementary to Shazam, Black Adam was going to be played by Dwayne Johnson.
Oh.
So I'm still hoping for that. I think that'll be fun.
I love Dwayne Johnson so much.
So I guess we'll see when the trailer comes out.
Yeah, let's hope that rock skips.
Oh, goodness. All right, now to transition over to the Marvel side of the universe.
Sure.
Sony's been playing nice with Marvel. Marvel has Spider-Man right now. Yes, definitely.
About time.
And right now, I just read this news last night when I was looking for stuff to fill our podcast with. Right now, actor Jake Gyllenhaal is
Love that guy.
Yes, absolutely. He is in talks to play Mysterio in the Spider-Man sequel.
That's sick.
Mysterio and also Michael Keaton's Vulture. This is really unique to the MCU because these are both characters that haven't been seen before.
Yeah.
Also, Michael Keaton is confirmed to return in Spider-Man Homecoming sequel.
Oh, okay.
So we might be getting a Sinister Six movie.
Oh, wow.
Which would be fun.
That would be interesting.
Because at this point, you've got three potential people. You've got your Vulture, you've got your Mysterio, and you've got Mac Gargan, who was introduced in the first one, and he becomes the Scorpion.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So, and also what people are theorizing when it comes to the Scorpion is right now, I believe, Mac Gargan is Venom in the comics right now.
Okay.
So I think people are expecting that if Tom Hardy's Venom isn't going to be in the MCU, they're going to go straight to a Scorpion Venom.
Oh, fascinating.
Which would be cool, admittedly. However, just Eddie Brock is such a cool character. So we're hoping that Venom will be good so that makes it into the MCU.
Sure. Absolutely.
So could you see Jake Gyllenhaal playing any other characters? Because it's not confirmed that he's in talks to play Mysterio.
All right, well, I've never been one to be very deep into the lore of Spider-Man. But honestly, with just the quality of actor he is, I've seen him do lots of different things.
He's got range.
And he has a lot of capacity to act.
My only other thought that he could play besides Mysterio is I looked at a picture of bearded Jake Gyllenhaal, and I thought, oh, he would make a cool Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter? I actually don't know this character.
Okay, he's a cool one. He's a hunter from Russia.
That's badass.
So it's just a cool character. Okay, so
me.
So Jake Gyllenhaal in the MCU, big thumbs up.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it's a big
fun.
thumbs up.
And I think it's really cool that now both major Spider-Man villains are big stars. You get Michael Keaton, now you get Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
We had
That's cool.
We had James Spader as Ultron.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, who's been a star for 30-something years, is Thanos. So Cate Blanchett, hella. There's a common theme that you get your biggest actors, you get your expensive actors to play the villains. Kurt Russell as well.
That's
in
right.
Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to move on from there, while we just talked about all these comic book movies, Noe, I want to ask you, who's your favorite movie hero and your favorite movie villain?
Okay, so I have an answer.
Okay.
It's Tadashi from Big Hero 6.
Noe. Tadashi from Big Hero 6 is not a hero.
I don't understand.
He died.
Okay.
Spoiler alerts.
Okay.
Tadashi dies. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not the hero in that film.
Yes, he is. You know what he did? He set up his life for his brother. His love saved his brother's life.
All right.
Think about that, because everyone loves Baymax, and who made Baymax?
Yeah, you're right.
Tadashi,
I can't even argue with you.
Who protected little Hiroshima there?
No. Okay, so Tadashi is the real hero of Big Hero 6 is what we're saying. Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So then, who's your favorite movie villain?
Obviously, the guy that killed Tadashi. He doesn't get a name. He doesn't deserve it.
Okay.
Just real quick side story. My brother, when that movie first came out, I hadn't seen it yet. I'm usually late to the movie trend if you guys haven't caught on yet. My brother had seen it before me, and then he comes to me and we're gonna watch it for the first time. And Tadashi shows up on screen the first time, and my brother hits me in the shoulder, and he's like, "That guy reminds me of you." And I was like, "Man, that's cool." And then I see how caring this guy is, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, that's so nice." And then he burns, and he's just straight toasted. And I had to pause the movie and take a long, hard look at my brother and really question if he was just trying to burn me alive. Try to throw me in that toaster, serve me up with some butter. It's just, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's good times.
So Noe, would you like to hear about my favorite hero and villain?
No, but you're gonna tell me anyways.
I am gonna tell you. So I'm gonna start with the villains.
Okay, go on.
There's a really good tie right now.
Oh, I like Thor. I forgot to say that. I really like Thor.
Thor
a
is
lot.
cool.
Thor and Loki. I like them a lot. They remind me of the two of us.
You're gonna love Infinity War.
Perfect, because I love the two of them. They remind me of the two of us.
Oh yeah, all
you
the
being
time.
Thor, me being Loki.
Oh, absolutely.
And then it also reminds me of me and my brother, my actual brother,
he is Loki.
Me being Thor and him being Loki, and
there's just a commonality. Solomon is a Thor.
Shlomo, if you will, in
Shlomo.
Hebrew.
Solomon is a Thor to someone else's Loki, probably one of his roommates.
I'm not sure.
Actually, no, he's probably a Loki.
He's probably like the bottom line.
He's
Loki.
the Loki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone has a little bit of the trickster god in them.
One of my favorite villains is from the MCU, and one of them is not. There's a really good tie.
Okay.
So one being Thanos, which you'll understand after Infinity War.
I'm sure I will.
Just a compelling story about Thanos. And on the other end of outside the MCU is Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus. Bless you.
Oh, sick.
I know you didn't sneeze.
I know I did.
Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus. Just a well-crafted character. Really fun to watch him on screen. And my favorite hero is Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
He's fun.
Just a truly comic accurate Spider-Man.
I know I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the memes, and I know he dies.
Yeah.
And that rips me apart so much because it was the first time in a long time that I was looking forward to like lots of Spider-Man movies.
Oh yeah.
And then they kill him, and yeah.
Well,
but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at some way that has to be reversed because they're working on a sequel. So unless they don't.
Yeah.
Unless they don't.
Unless they don't. And what's her name? Mary Jane. Zendaya. She plays Mary Jane, right?
Yeah, well, she plays
MJ.
Michelle Jones.
She plays marijuana.
Yeah.
But I think it would also be interesting to see hers as our favorite sassy hero.
That would be interesting. And I love Zendaya.
Oh, yeah.
She's fantastic. Noe.
Yeah.
Let's move over into the world of video games.
Yes, finally. Gosh dang.
And I know, sorry.
No, it's okay.
There was just tons of movie news this week.
And they're good movie news.
Noe, I was really shocked that last week Overwatch wasn't in your top 5 games.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Overwatch.
All right.
Specifically, the new toy branding that Overwatch is receiving. Have you heard about this yet?
I have not heard about this.
Okay. So Overwatch, Blizzard,
yes,
has paired with Hasbro.
Oh, wow.
So,
good job, Blizzard. About time you get something good.
So what we are getting, Overwatch Nerf guns.
That's so cool.
And Overwatch Lego sets.
All right, here's my question. You know, a long time ago, Nerf did that thing where they had, like, swords and, like, little clubs.
Oh, are we going to get Genji's sword?
I would love to have Genji's sword.
You know,
I would love to have a Hanzo bow, and I would absolutely love a freaking little Torbjorn hammer.
You know, I was actually going to say...
Or even better, Reinhardt.
Gosh.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I think that that Nerf actually discontinued all of those models because children were actually hurting each other with them.
And then you find out that at some point Nerf guns and Nerf things aren't for kids, they're for college students.
That is true.
I still have my Nerf guns that I used in college to play murder.
Okay, you know
all
what?
the time.
This is the part of the episode where I'm going to plug my Instagram.
All right.
It's grandiloquent_mediocrity. That'll be in the description below. But what I do is I paint Nerf guns. You've seen some of my work. I have tons of fun doing that. So you're right. Nerf guns are not always for kids.
Yeah.
We're both 21, and when's the last time you purchased a Nerf gun?
Last year,
Probably
actually.
Last year, right? I purchased a Nerf gun just a few months ago.
I got one with those big old mega darts, and I'll tell you what, dude. Something happens whenever I grab a Nerf gun. I find that maybe I should have been in the military because I have consistently, every time I've used a Nerf gun, hit whoever I'm aiming at right in the eye every single time. That's a death shot every time.
Death shot, right?
I'm ready. You know, maybe I'm Deadpool.
Maybe you are Deadpool. Let's cut you and find out.
Do it now. I'm ready.
Okay, so Overwatch is amazing.
Yes.
And Overwatch is stepping into the toy world.
Okay, so Overwatch did not make it on my game list solely because of the rage that it gives me with competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have to keep my competitive games off of my favorite games list because competitive games for me go in a different list because it's, you know, it's too much of a different world of video games. You know, it's a different type of game entirely.
You're right.
But I'll tell you what, I'm excited for that. My favorite character, my main is Roadhog, and I am looking forward to hopefully some sort of big ass Roadhog hook that I can just lob. Or his shotgun, I think that'd be interesting, although I don't necessarily know if Nerf has the capacity to make something like that.
Okay, so if we're talking about Overwatch Nerf guns, which characters' weapons would you want to buy?
Okay, I definitely know they're gonna try to make tracers.
Mm-hmm.
That's obvious.
The pistols, yeah.
The pistols, they're staple.
I'd buy
I
one.
would love to see Ana's sniper.
Okay.
I think that's fascinating. I know that Nerf has some, not many, but some of the bows.
Mm-hmm,
I would love to see
Hanzo's
bow. I think that would be fascinating.
I think Soldier's gun is a given.
Soldier's is a given.
I want to buy that one too. That's a cool looking
gun. Maybe it might be stretching, but maybe we'll see Mercy's little pistol.
Maybe. Do you think maybe we'll get a Reaper shotgun looking Nerf gun?
I think we'll get. I know it probably won't be a shotgun.
No,
but it'll definitely shoot like one of those mega darts. They already have things that look sort of similar with those bigger Magnum handgun things. I have one of those. I can definitely see them just repainting it and restructuring it to look like Reaper shotguns, which would be really cool. Although it wouldn't have the spread effect that we would want from it.
So Noe, what other video game franchises would you like to see pair up with Hasbro and get Nerf guns?
Well, I mean, we're thinking of, I guess, video game franchises that first off focus on guns,
right? That
have some sort of idea of guns. I don't know if Halo's ever done something like that, but I think that'd be
but Halo did make laser tag guns at one point.
That's
Do you remember those?
All right. Side conversation. Bungie, bring it back.
Bungie doesn't own Halo anymore.
But I remember Halo 3, and it was my favorite one.
Yeah.
Bungie, get back Halo.
Did Bungie make Reach?
Yes?
No. That was their first game away? No.
Maybe.
I think Bungie did make Reach.
Alright. Bungie needs to get Halo. Again. Needs to make laser tag guns. I would love so much a laser tag place that's based off of Halo.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay, Bungie, stop it with your stupid Destiny games. Nobody wants them anymore.
It's true, they're garbage.
And get Halo back.
I've played both of them.
Make Halo 6, make it good, put your name all over it.
Oh,
We'll all buy it.
Absolutely, I'll buy it.
Shoot, remaster Halo 3.
Yes! That's my laser charging. I'm about to shoot someone.
Looks like a laser.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So,
I'm so fascinated with the sound
Overwatch.
waves.
I know. We just look behind at the screen constantly, looking at the way the sound appears on the screen. Okay. Noe.
Yes.
Furthering in the video game news world. There's no big video game releases until early fall.
That is true.
We're looking at September 7th.
We're hitting that dry zone right now.
It is a dry summer. So what will you spend your summer playing? Ark Survivor?
All right. Survival? I've been playing Ark Survival. I love that game. I'm starting up a server with my brother and some of his college friends who all have the game. We'll be doing that together for a little bit. Of course, Minecraft is a go-to for leisure.
I need to finish our big tree, man.
We do need to finish that tree. Gosh, dang it! It'll come. It'll come. The
Eventually.
God tree will be built. And
life tree.
Yes, God, life, same thing.
This is true.
All right. But I mentioned that I just got myself a Nintendo Switch, and one of the most necessary purchases there is obviously Breath of the Wild, which I played before. I have been playing through it all this past week on the Switch, its intended system, and I took a break from that game for about 4 months, and I go and start over, and I'm having so much fun with that video game.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so I'll be playing that. Assassin's Creed Origins, another game to
the game that you got for free.
The game that I got for free.
Noe, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Will you be purchasing, or have you already purchased Mario Odyssey?
I will be purchasing Odyssey. I hear from some of my other video game people that it is a similar playstyle to the classic that I was playing last week, Super Mario Sunshine.
All right.
And that was an incredible, incredible game, considering that the GameCube was released back when we were literal children. And I am still playing this game as a 21-year-old man out of college. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
And then to hear that they're remaking things like that, although I do have a little bit of confusion with the hat.
The hat's cool, man.
I know it's cool, but like, Mario's hat coming alive. It just feels weird.
Well, I mean, we talked about it last.
Weird,
we
man.
talked about it last week.
Yeah.
This is an age of video games where where they're reinventing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Franchises are taking different turns.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is cool. I'm excited to see what.
I'm glad they're doing it as well, but I mean, it's still just something that I have to work through.
It's a little weird.
You know, I mean, granted, I do not live in the Mushroom Kingdom. I do not know the laws of physics or the laws of life that they have there. I don't yet know what that hat is or what made it come alive. Maybe it's a ghost. Maybe it's a Gengar. Could a lot of things. It could be a lot of things. But it is an interesting take with reinventing the series. But I do think it's at least speaks into the mind of the creativity that's going in with the Nintendo team of recreating their mascot, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so your next big releases on consoles, major consoles, are September 7th. PlayStation 4 gets Spider-Man.
Yes,
I will be purchasing a PlayStation 4 for that game.
And I am hoping that my thing with Spider-Man games in the past, although I don't have, I've never really owned a PS4 or PS2 or PS3, is that they're fun. They're super fun, but sometimes they just don't hold the weight that I want them to.
Yeah, there's been a few games that have been able to do it. Namely, Web of Shadows is amazing. Ultimate Spider-Man is great. And I'm hoping that these are new developers. This is a team that's never made Spider-Man before. And I'm hoping that their anticipation... The reason Insomniac got Spider-Man is they said, hey, we want you to make a superhero franchise. What do you want? I said, can we make Spider-Man?
That's awesome.
So it's out of love for the character, which I'm so excited for.
Which is always good.
Because if you can make a video game about Spider-Man that's still a character story, you win.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they are saying that you're going to know Peter Parker just as well as you're going to know Spider-Man at the end of the game.
Awesome.
Which is great. Further, on October 12th, you have Black Ops 4, which I will not be putting any of my money into.
I will also not be putting any money into Black Ops 4.
Not if there's not going to be a campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we're getting in a place right now where when it comes to like first-person shooters, people don't go for the campaign.
No, and that's the hard thing,
which is fascinating. Too. And on the other end, we have Overwatch, and the lore that they've created for the world is so much that a lot of players are asking for a campaign.
Right.
For Overwatch to play with their favorite heroes, and I think that has to do something with when we look at our regular third-person shooters. A lot of them, you don't really have a lot of connection to your characters. You are just a soldier,
right?
And I think with that, you don't really have a desire to be linked up with your character. And then we look at something with Overwatch, where each of these heroes have a specific backstory, and they're very unique characters. You wish for something to know more of them, to see them interacting with each other in a place like that. So I can't speak into the necessity for a campaign, but all I know is I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, definitely. And as much as I love Overwatch, I think they're kind of to blame for this problem. Overwatch released a really fun first-person shooter game that focused entirely on multiplayer, and scavenging off of Overwatch, games like Fortnite and PUBG that just do PvP, no campaign. There's no point to the story. Who wants a story? Well, mature gamers, mature is the wrong word. Longtime gamers do.
Yeah.
People who've been invested in these franchises. The reason younger gamers don't want campaigns is because they don't have the attention spans for it.
Yeah.
How often do you see a young gamer actually enjoying a story-based game?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean, because you think about it, it's our generation and the generation before that created all of the conspiracy theories about and writing out the time sequence of the Legend of Zelda and writing out fan fiction for Gears of War and all of these things. We were so invested in the story that it created the multiplayer. The multiplayer was the secondary aspect. And I think it's fascinating that just to confirm, I have not read fan fiction about Gears of War.
I'm bringing that to the podcast. We're going to do dramatic readings of fan fiction.
Oh God. Oh, God.
Yeah, so unfortunately Overwatch is to blame, but I think that story-based games have their place right now.
Absolutely.
They're just not in first-person shooters.
Oh, yeah. It looks like we're seeing a lot more story-based games going into the more RPG area, and I think that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense, you know.
So, on the note of story-based games, there is a big anticipated story-based game coming out on October 26th, and that's Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, whoo! I have been waiting to get my posse and to go down and rob a train.
I have not played the first Red Dead.
Okay, so I
haven't played any of the Red Deads.
I got the first Red Dead Redemption on sale at GameStop for $5.
Oh, nice.
All right, and this was recently. I played it a lot when I was in high school, and then I sold it, which was the worst mistake of my life. And then it turns out it was actually not that bad of a sell because I got more money than I paid for it in this last time.
Oh, okay.
Playing through it again, fun story. I loved the campaign and the idea that that we're getting a little bit more of we're getting heists now with Red Dead Redemption, which is awesome. I'm hoping with all of my heart to ride a buffalo. I don't know how they're going to do mounts. I know in GTA they always have differing cars, but we know the system's different in the Wild West. You know.
So Noe, my question is this: spoiler alerts for the original Red Dead Redemption, but John Marston dies at the end of that story. Is Red Dead 2 a prequel? Are we following a different character? Are we following his son?
I would love to follow a different character. I think it would be fascinating to follow his son.
Because his son shows up in the game, right?
But I'll tell you what I would really love. And I know this is going to be strange, and this is far-reaching, but I would love to follow a Native American.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I think that would be awesome.
It'd be an interesting... It'd be a really interesting perspective. It's something that we'd never seen before.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I think it would be fun. It'd be fascinating. You would be hooked the entire time, because even now in American history, we don't have a lot of links to that culture. Right. And it's such a fascinating culture. We studied religion a little bit in college, and what a fascinating religious system. And that's just the religious system.
Yeah, not to mention just any of their societal systems at all.
Not to mention any of that. Well, and so I think it would be interesting to see someone in the verge or in the tensions between the tribe and the posse. And I think that would be fascinating. We're probably not going to get that.
No, but now I can dream. But now I want that.
Now I can dream. Well, it's such a wholesome
video
game.
I know. It's kind of like that idea that Call of Duty, going back to World War II, I've heard people say, oh, well, how cool would it be to play from the perspective of a brainwashed Nazi thinking he's doing the right thing? And I go, yeah, that would be really controversial to put on screen or put in a video game. But it would be really interesting.
It would be fascinating,
so
but I also think like
kind of that same thing. You go on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Look at the same thing from a different viewpoint.
I do think that that would be a little bit of an issue to play as a Nazi.
No, I know,
and I think mostly because of the state of our nation right now.
Yes.
But
bad example. I think
it'd be cool.
The example that I should have used that already exists is playing as a Templar in Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why I didn't say that. I don't know why I went straight to Nazis.
Hey, you know what? The heart, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak, my friend.
All right. Noe, are you a fan of television?
I am a fan of television.
Yeah, me too. But I don't watch a whole lot of it.
Me either. I have video games.
Yeah. So let's talk about some TV shows.
Okay,
Is there anything that you watch consistently that still airs on television?
All right. Well, that's a weird little place because I'm in between seasons for a really big cultural show right now. Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones.
Is Game of Thrones not getting its final season until next year?
I believe so.
That's
and
disgusting.
I'm pissed.
Well, I'll say this as well. I watched The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
And it was great at the beginning. I absolutely adored it. But now, it's just boring.
Hey, it'll probably get more fun if you start watching it from the perspective of this is the storytelling of a D&D campaign.
That makes it no more interesting to me. The thing is there's so much source material. They're still making comics that the show can keep following.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they covered so much ground at the beginning. The Negan storyline is 100 issues into the book. When Glenn gets Negan'd.
Wow.
So they covered 100 issues into the book, and they're only at volume 100 something now, I believe. And so they cover so much ground here at the beginning that now they've had to just slow it down so much, where the entire Negan war took place in like what should have been 2 or 3 episodes of the show, but instead they drag it out over like a season and a half.
Yeah.
No, 2 seasons. It was 2 it was 2 full seasons of show that were about the war with Negan. So Walking Dead is boring, and I'm starting to hate it, but at the same time, I'm invested in the story, and I can't force myself to stop watching.
I understand.
So, moving away from some of our not favorite TV stuff.
Yeah, sure.
What is some of your favorite TV stuff?
Netflix
included, by the way.
All right. Well, I have a list for this, and I'm going to include one thing that is technically not a TV show here. It is in Japan. It's an anime.
That's a TV show.
I guess so. But I'll go my list.
Crunchyroll.
I guess. My number 5 favorite TV show is probably Gotham. Young Bruce is great. I also love watching the whole like crime scene investigator kind of thing in this universe that is pre-Batman.
Well, and young Bruce is kind of becoming Batman in the show, isn't he?
So cool.
Yeah, and you've got the Joker that you can't call the Joker because of legal issues. Even though this Joker is way better than
gosh,
poor Jared Leto.
I know, man. He's so good though.
Well, he's incredible. He just got put into a bad movie.
Yeah, it's true. But man, that Joker
left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah. But super good.
All right, so I have 4 written down, so I'll share my number 4 then.
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's BoJack Horseman off of Netflix.
What a great movie.
Because I started watching this show, and
for those of you that haven't seen BoJack Horseman, it's this really depressing, like comeback kid kind of story about this horseman.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's like wrestling with his dog all the time, and yeah.
And that's my perspective on it, is that I was expecting a real lighthearted comedy. I was expecting something like Big Mouth.
Oh man!
But instead, I got a show with characters that I could relate to, and storylines that I could invest in. And I cannot wait for season 5 that comes out this fall, I believe.
Yes, it does. That's fun.
So yeah, BoJack Horseman is a good show. It's a good emotional ride.
Yeah. All right. My number 4 is gonna get real nerdy. And back when I was a bio major, this just fascinated me. Still does to this day. I don't know if they still show it anymore. On Animal Planet, they used to air this show called Finding Bigfoot.
I think that's still a thing.
I hope it's still a thing, because they never found Bigfoot.
But is he out there?
But is he?
I don't think so.
That's hey, you never know, man.
You're right. I do never know, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But the possibility is there. You know, there's one of those things of like, there's an old saying, you dismiss Bigfoot and then he comes and just smacks you in the back of the head with his wiener, you know?
Well, you know what? Bigfoot is real because they cast him to be in the Jax Links commercials.
That's true. Obviously. Come on. Why didn't we think of that?
Yeah, so, alright. Finding Bigfoot can be canceled. Noe and I just solved it.
Yeah, it's true. We did it.
Noe, the next TV show that I have written down is NBC's The Office.
Oh, what a great show.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Same thing. I was expecting a lighthearted comedy, but I got emotions. I got feels.
Oh my god. So I was in love with Pam for the longest time. You know how you have like those characters that you're like, if you were a real person.
Oh yeah.
Granted, the actor's a real person, but the character is not a real person.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but if you were a real person, I would wife you. Was like the whole thing.
No, is The Office on your list?
All right, so I didn't put The Office on my list, and the same thing with Parks and Rec. I didn't put either of those two incredible shows on my list because I haven't finished them yet. I'm still in the last season for both of them, and I've been on the last season for both of them for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I need to get to it. It's on my to-do list, but you know, at some point, if you have to put finishing a show on your to-do list, you know,
that's true. Well, and the thing about Parks and Rec is you can have watched the end of season. Is it season 6 or season 5?
Yes.
However many it is, if you watch the season finale of the previous season, it feels complete.
It does.
It feels over because it's a time jump in the final season.
Yeah.
I could say almost the same for season 9 of The Office, but you should definitely sit down and watch season 9.
I need to, but yeah, I will. I'll do it.
Noe, go ahead and share your next one.
All right, my number 3 for all of my anime people out there is Sword Art Online. It's a normie anime, but my God, video games. It's a video game anime. Our main character Kirito gets stuck inside of a virtual reality, and if he dies in the game, he dies in real life.
Wow,
what a fascinating plot!
That is not that shocking of a plot.
It's not, but it's so good.
It's Spy Kids 3, my friend.
Yeah. And it is so good.
Is it better than Spy Kids 3?
I think so. I absolutely think so.
Well, I think Spy Kids 3 is awful. So.
I do too.
But I love it. Okay.
And just the characters in that anime are just so lovable. Oh. There's this weird part of the series of the second season though, or like the first season, where like his little adopted sister, like cousin or something, is like trying to get at him, and she has all kinds of weird hormones. But Japan, they do weird things.
Yeah, that's true. It's Japan.
So I don't really know.
Can't judge them. Number 2 on my list is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Woo!
And it's a kids show, but it's also written so adult.
Oh yeah,
it's got such real characters.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I enjoy Avatar a lot. I'd say I watch it maybe once a year. But it's not on Amazon Prime anymore.
I know.
So sad. But I believe that this fall it does get Blu-ray release.
Oh, about time. So, I will be buying that.
Yeah, excited for that one.
And the reason is because that is actually my number 1 TV show. I love that show so much. It has so many like themes in there that you only get as an adult, with like honor and shame and redemption, and Zuko being one of probably the best characters in his development there.
Oh,
is
he's
incredible.
Such a well-written character.
Oh, all of the characters, their development throughout the series is just really cool.
It's not often you see kids shows with such.
Also, I remember watching that
characters.
show. I remember watching that show when I was young, and I remember watching, and for the first time seeing a villain that I didn't hate, but that I felt bad for, Azula. Sister.
She kind of hits that breaking point at the end.
She literally, because of like the expectations of like the Fire Nation and her dad and wanting to be perfect, breaks. And she's a villain, but it doesn't feel good.
Oh no, it does not feel good to see her.
I remember the first time seeing that scene as a kid and crying for this villain did something for my sense of compassion that I will never be able to undo. And that's such a good thing. To be able to see someone that is in a bad place and making bad decisions, and to think, but no, you're human. I can see it.
Right.
Oh, what a...
Avatar did it right.
Chills every time. I will be watching that most likely during the summer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Did you share your number 2?
No, I didn't, because we were talking about my number 1, but my number 2 is actually Game of Thrones. I'm a nerd. You all know this. You heard it a lot in the last podcast. But swords and crap make me happy, and Khaleesi is so beautiful, and I love her. I want to protect her from this world. And
yeah, you're a little too late.
I know. Yeah,
she's in Solo though.
Yeah,
so
it's okay. It's okay. Jon Snow's doing it.
Jon Snow's
doing it, and he's not gonna. He did die,
but he comes back.
He comes back.
It's like Marvel.
It's okay. That's a lot of like fan theory stuff, though. Of like,
did he ever actually die?
No. Just about like
just in general.
The red. What is it like? Everyone knows about the Red Witch, Melisandre. Hot actor, super banging, and then she turns into this old woman, but they serve a god of fire. All right, that's I don't remember the exact term, but that's the whole thing. Fire is like the motif, and the whole thing was like Jon is the chosen one is something that people are saying, and then he comes back to life, and that's something that only happens for people chosen by that god. And we see a character early in the series that dies and gets brought right back to life because of the blessing of this god, and seeing Jon Snow come back to life. Just like fan theories and stuff. But then again, Khaleesi's his cousin. And
gross.
Yeah, so I mean, the Targaryens, they've always done that. They've always been inbreeders. It's kind of weird. For them, it's not. But for Jon, who was raised a Stark, that's going to be an issue. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he handles this, because I'm pretty sure he really, really adores Khaleesi after the death of his very attractive redheaded love. God, there's so many attractive people in that show. It bothers me a lot. I don't know how to reconcile
This was a
that.
thought I had right now. I think it would be terrible, but it's also kind of hilarious to think about.
Please.
Imagine hearing in the news, Disney has just bought HBO, and we're going to see a Marvel film about how Arya Stark's family descends into Howard and Tony Stark.
My great-great-grandmother, Arya Stark. My
Slept with a
ancestor.
dragon. I don't know if she ever slept with a dragon.
My ancestor, Jon Snow, the bastard of the family,
Slept with the mother of dragons.
Slept with the mother of dragons. She was an actual dragon, if you believe it. What the hell are you talking about, man? Yo, hey, Tony, shut up. No one cares about your dead ancestors. They weren't even real. Everyone knows dragons don't exist. And
yeah, we had a conversation about that. I don't want to get into it. Maybe
we absolutely should right now.
No, we don't have time right now. Next week. Next week we're talking about dragons. Confirmed.
I believe it. Yes.
All right. Don't let me forget that. We're going to talk about dragons next week, but we don't have time. I want to share my number one show.
Please do.
It's Firefly.
Oh, what a great show.
Have you watched Firefly?
I've watched a season.
There's only a season.
Okay, then yes.
You've watched all of it. Unfortunately, it didn't do well on Fox first time around, so it got canceled.
It went to Netflix, no?
No. Did it? Was it ever on Netflix?
Was it?
Maybe. I don't know. But essentially, it only got the one season ever. It's Joss Whedon.
Okay.
And he made a movie a few years later to kind of wrap up the whole story. So it's complete, kind of, but it leaves you longing for more. Fun characters. Nathan Fillion is fantastic. Everyone else around it. Morena Baccarin, who plays Vanessa in Deadpool, RIP, it plays a character on Firefly. Alan Tudyk, who we talked about earlier, plays a character on Firefly. It's just a good show, man.
That's cool, man.
It's a good show. If it's been a while since you've watched it, definitely go back to that one.
All right.
I'm going to buy the season because same thing, they took it off of Prime.
Huh.
So I'm going to be buying it pretty
Amazon,
soon.
what are you doing?
Amazon. All right, here's a short little letter to Amazon. Bring back Firefly, bring back Avatar, and I'll keep my subscription.
Also, thank you for building a base here in Fresno.
Oh yeah, hey, I know where that's gonna go.
Do you?
Yeah.
I got a job there.
Did you?
No.
Oh.
Why would I apply there?
I don't know. It's gonna be in the big industrial district in the south though.
Ah, of course. Hey, all I know is that's good because that means same free day shipping.
You're right. Also, for our listeners who don't know what we're talking about, Fresno is the 5th biggest city in California.
It's true.
And we live in the suburbs of it.
It's also the hottest city in the world.
It really is not. But
I know it's not, but it feels like it.
It feels like it.
You know, some days I'll be sitting down and realize that my pants have melted. And that's an issue, you know, when you're wearing jeans. Jeans don't melt.
Or do they?
You know what? They do in Fresno.
They do in Fresno.
And, you know, look, those of you that don't live in Fresno, Fresno is that feeling when you open the oven to get your cookies and the heat burns your face, except it's forever and there's no cookies.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Fresno.
And instead of smelling cookies, you smell gangster's weed.
Hey, you know what? It's not even good weed either. Not that I would know.
How would you know?
I don't. But you know, I don't even think it's good weed. I'm gonna be honest.
Right,
nothing in
fair.
Fresno is good here.
No.
That's false. No, there are some really good things here.
Yeah.
The people are good here. A lot of people are nice in Fresno, and I love them. Our Mexican food is bomb.
This is true. We talked about that
Our Mexican
last week.
food is bomb because the majority of our population is Mexican, which is
I looked up the demographics a while back. It's like over 70%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hispanic.
And most of them do not come from California or from Texas. They come straight from Mexico.
Yeah, we got authentic Mexicans.
They pass through the southern cities because it's too close to the border and too close to the pain of the migra.
But they also don't want to go to Northern California because it's too
cold.
And
Mexicans don't do well with the cold.
Well, I was going to say it's too far, but that too. All right, so Firefly on Amazon. Bring it back.
Absolutely.
Noe, I just wanted to end by having a conversation. I'm pulling up this article that's just got some really weird questions to ask you.
Wonderful.
So let's try it out. So here's a good one to start on.
All right.
What is the funniest name you've ever heard used in real life? Like
real life.
Yeah, like a real name that you've heard that's just ridiculous.
Oh man.
You want to hear mine first?
Sure.
It's Noe.
Peace off, mate. To be honest, I don't even love you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what you get.
All right. So what's the weirdest name you've ever heard?
All right, give me a second.
I should have given you this question in advance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I don't necessarily know if I've heard a lot of weird names. Most of them have been really common. Mine is the weirdest name that I've ever heard.
All right. So, Noe, if you're
sad.
if you at 5 years old found yourself inhabiting your current body, what would the 5-year-old do first?
Probably the same thing that I'm doing now.
Sitting around being an idiot?
Sitting around being an idiot.
Somehow getting a bachelor's degree?
No, actually, like...
No, you worked for your degree.
I did work. But, like, 5-year-old Noe was actually very tame. I don't know where all the chaos came from, but 5-year-old Noe was very obedient. Here's a story, alright? So, just to tell you how tame and kind-hearted and gentle 5-year-old Noe was, my mom had made me some eggs. Right, and scrambled eggs have always been my favorite kind of eggs. And I asked, "Hey, Mom, can I have some eggs?" And she's like, "Sure." And we were gonna go to school, and I was gonna be late, right? And so she made me some eggs, and she just put way too much oil, so it was like nasty eggs. But because my mom did that for me, and I loved her so much, and I didn't want to like speak up, and I didn't want to like make her feel bad. I just suffered through all of those eggs, and I ate all of them. And I went to school, and I wasn't feeling good because of all the oil, and I puked. And my mom was like, "Noe, why are you sick?" And I was like, "It was because of the eggs." "Why did you eat them?" "Well, because you made them for me." And my mom, she tells me that story every once in a while. It says that she'll never live it down that she made me eggs like that. But 5-year-old Noe would probably get better eggs.
Oh, okay. So,
and he played video games.
Your egg story was definitely an allegory to college. Okay. Moving on. Noe, what movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical? I've got an answer for this one, by the way, but I would like to hear yours.
Okay. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right. I'm thinking.
Would you like me to share mine?
Absolutely.
It's 100% Full Metal Jacket.
Oh.
Because can you imagine the drill sergeant scene being a musical number? Show me your war face.
Oh my god. Oh no.
You call that a war face?
God. I'm gagging. I would not go see that play. I wouldn't. I would cry. Oh my god. That'd be horrible. No, you know it would be an incredible movie?
What's that?
If it was a musical. And I'd say this because it's already great and it already doesn't take itself seriously. Nacho Libre.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be such a funny musical.
You use all the same music, too. Noe, did you know that the people that made Nacho Libre are the same people that made Napoleon Dynamite?
I do.
Yeah.
And that's why, to this day, like, they're not on my list, but I adore those movies.
Okay, here's a good one, Noe.
All right.
What is the sexiest name and also the least sexy name?
All right.
I think Reginald falls in the least sexy category.
All right. I'm saying this, I'm a little bit biased, but I have been told this by most of the people that have heard my middle name. My middle name is actually pretty sexy. It does not match my appearance.
Go ahead.
But the name is sexy. My middle name is Eleazar.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's sexy.
Did you hear how they said it at your graduation?
Yeah.
Elliotzer.
Elliotzer. And I was like, I don't even care. I'm graduating. I'm leaving you all anyways.
Okay, so could we agree that it's Eleazar and Reginald?
It is Eleazar, Reginald. Also, what is it? They're like, I think like a lot of the time when females have like exotic names, like speaking from like America's context, they are the sexiest thing ever.
That's true.
So cool.
Well, that's a weird note to end on, so I'm gonna find a different question.
Yeah, do find a different question. I don't want people to like start like doing weird things to my name.
Yeah,
That'd be super weird.
I don't even know why you brought that up. Oh, okay. Here's where it'd be a good spot to end. What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
Golf.
Oh, golf would be great with drunk people, or just
Tennis,
maybe basketball.
Ping pong,
basketball,
badminton. Badminton drunk would be hilarious.
Yeah,
bowling drunk would be, well, people do that anyways. It's not really
true.
Different. You only bowl.
What about like professional sports? Like imagine,
okay.
Like, imagine the NBA if they were all required to drink a bunch beforehand.
Don't they already though? Oh no, that's rugby.
It's so they can numb the pain. They don't wear pads.
Yeah, it's super crazy. Those people be wild. You know what? Hockey.
Oh yeah.
Drunk people on skates.
Already falling all over the place and then fighting with each other.
Yes. That's why we go to watch hockey. Okay. It's not to see them score. No. It's to see them fight.
So definitively then alcohol should be added to the NHL.
Absolutely.
Canada, get on it.
Get on it. Send me some syrup. I'm out. I had pancakes this morning. They were dry and I hated it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I hated it.
Okay.
I ate them with butter in like a taco form and it was sad. Yeah.
That sounds awful. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to wrap up just by saying thank you for tuning in again. If you've made it all the way to the end of a second Hungry Brothers episode.
Yeah, we're sorry for everything that we do.
I can't speak for Noe, but I'm definitely having a lot of fun doing this.
Me too.
We've changed our location. We've now recorded 2 episodes in 2 different spots. And we'll probably end up in a different spot again next week.
That is the hope.
And in the future,
That is the hope. Hopefully at some point, I don't know, we'll talk about this, but there might be like a D&D podcast maybe?
Yeah, potentially.
Potentially that Hungry Brothers could host for the D&D session that we do.
I just don't want to deal with having like 5 or 6 hours of footage.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But furthermore, of course, find our YouTube channel. That is down in the description if you're on Podbean. And come and subscribe to us on Podbean, and that's going to be in the description if you're on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Follow us on Twitter at Hungry Bros Pod. That is also in the description if you're on Podbean or YouTube. Of course, I plugged my Instagram earlier, and that is another social media connection to this podcast, and that's grandiloquent_mediocrity. Again, that's going to be in the description. So thanks so much for listening. Of course, I have been Greg the Pork Chop.
And I have been Noe the Burger Man. And good luck, Internet. Have fun out there and don't watch porn. It's bad for your eyes.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.